I feel you should just put everything into consideration. You should put in consideration before coming abroad. Your course, is it high demand in your country, in the country of your study, if you want to stay back? You're welcome back to AJOKE'S vlog. My name is AJOKE. So how is the self-isolation at you? And hope you guys are fine. And if you're a new subscriber, I do welcome you to AJOKE'S vlog. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks. Okay, so I need you to please subscribe right now. I need you to please subscribe right now. I need you to please come join this gang. AJOKE'S vlog gang. So please do subscribe. Okay, today I'm gonna be just keeping it real, sharing what I wish I have considered, what I wish I had considered before coming to study abroad as a Black person, and especially as a Nigerian. What I wish I had considered before coming abroad to study. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a real, all new, beautiful, amazing experience to travel out of your country in search of knowledge, in search of experience, culture, food, people, and all that. And it's actually very also blissful to stay back in your country to study. So I'm not saying that staying in your country is better than coming abroad, and I'm not saying that maybe coming abroad to study is the best thing. It's just for what you can afford. It's what you can afford. It's what your dreams, your plans are. But now I want to just chip in some things I wish I had considered before coming abroad. One, I wish I had given consideration to the country. Like I just got the idea of China, and I just jumped on the train of coming to China sincerely. Like I didn't really give it a whole lot of thought on why I want to come to China. I just felt, oh, China, I can as well study. I was told there are opportunities there for me as a Black person that speaks English, so I think I should just open and come here and see what China has to offer. Now, don't make that mistake, irrespective of what anybody is telling you about any country, irrespective of whatever anybody is telling you about any country, especially when these people are agents. Like, I would say that the person that introduced me to China, I got here before I realized he was an agent. I trusted him because he seems like a friend of the family, but I never knew he was just trying to use us to make money. That is just the real truth. I'm gonna just keep it 100% real. Like, if you want to go to China, maybe Canada, maybe America, Norway, Germany, please don't just say because people are coming to you with opportunities to study abroad, except it is a scholarship, then you are free to go anywhere. But if you're going to be paying, maybe even if it is partial scholarship or just self-sponsored, please don't make the mistake I made. Consider your other options. And the reason why I'm doing some of my YouTube vlogs sharing the real truth about China, about the experience here, is because when I got the idea of China, I came on YouTube seeking answers, but everybody was just like, oh, China is good, you can open. China is good, you can open. I really did not find the particular vlog that is breaking it down into the experiences, into the truth, into what to expect. My father was also on YouTube, so he was like, oh, I was on YouTube and everything seems good, so China it is. So please, I think you should just try to connect with people. Be free to ask questions. Try to meet up with people to know the real actual experience. Don't say because, oh, I saw this person on Facebook and she's in Germany or she's in China and she looks good, then that means China is good. That means Germany is good. That means Australia is good. Some of them don't even look like what they are going through. That is just the basic truth. They don't really look what they're going through. Some of them have helps. Some of them have help. Some of them have connections. You don't have to judge because this person's life seems good, then that means this place is good. I'm not saying China is bad. I'm not saying China is bad. But please, irrespective of whatever country you're going through, irrespective of whatever country you're going to, please don't just jump on the flight or on the train because of what you think it is. Sometimes when you enter into a thing, oh my gosh, it's beyond what you can expect. And another thing is that you have to just brace up. You have to brace up for culture shock. You have to brace up for racism. Like, yeah, nobody wants to talk about racism, but racism exists. That is just a point blank. There are some opportunities that you would never get because you are black. There's some things you just have to keep struggling for. There are some places you will have to be looked down upon. So you have to just brace up. You don't feel like the way they've accepted you, they've been accepting you. You know, when I came to China, I never lived in the consciousness of being black. I've read books and I felt like, oh, these books are just partial experiences and all that, until I came here and I felt like, wow, I am really black. Like, really, 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 I'm black. So you have to prepare for culture shock. And if it's a non-English speaking country, don't let anybody tell you that in 6 months you can learn. Like, the person told me, oh, in 6 months, Chinese is really easy to learn. You can just learn in 6 months. And then I felt, yeah, in 6 months and in 2 years, I'm still struggling to speak a very good Chinese. I'm not saying that you should compare yourself with me. You might be smarter than I am and be able to learn a new language in 6 months. But brace up for the fact that in the worst scenario of not being able to learn, how are you going to survive? So you have to brace up for culture shock. You have to brace up for racism. You have to brace up for every other thing that would try to make you feel you are not enough. Every other thing that would try to smash your consciousness, your self-esteem, your confidence. Every other thing that would just come at you for being a new person in a new place. And then I would also tell you to brace up for people that would cheat you. They might not even be foreigners. They might even be people from your own country. You don't have to trust everything anybody tells you, even when you are here. Because some of them, it's just... Another thing you have to consider before coming abroad, especially if you are a self-supporting student, like you have to pay your tuition yourself, your family has to pay your tuition, or whatever way you have to pay your tuition, is that will you be able to work? Will you be able to work? Because we've seen scenarios of people getting stuck in China. Not just China, there are people abroad that are stuck because their family fell into bad times and they're not able to come up with the old tuition at that time. And some of those people are not able to work because a lot of the country says they are not able to work as foreign students. So please, even if it's a part-time job, even if it's a 20 hours per week job, please, I would advise you, if you're a self-paid or self-supporting student, to actually go for countries where you can work, you can make money as a student. That is just a sincere option, because it's not easy when you're trying to make ends meet, when you're trying to pay your tuition and then you are trying to not to break the law. It's really very, very, very crazy. That is my own experience in China. There is no even lies about this. It's not easy. I've made vlogs about the working experience, what to expect and all that. So it's not easy when you come into a country where you're not allowed to work and then you are on a self-supporting visa. Please, just kukuma wait. Just wait for full scholarship, not just even partial scholarship. Just wait for full scholarship. This thing is not easy. It's not really easy at all. Forget the makeup, forget the plenty English, forget everything. It's not easy. And in a place where you work, you're lucky to get a scholarship, or you're lucky to have a place where you can just do some part-time jobs to pay your own tuition. What are the things you also have to consider is if you really want to stay back, or you really want to go back to your country after study. Now listen to this very, very, very carefully. For those of you that are staying back, I think another thing you should consider if you want to stay back is the fact that is the cost of your study in high demand in the country of your choice. Is the course you're studying in high demand in the country of your choice? If the course you're studying is not in high demand in the country of your choice and you want to stay back, I would advise you that you change course to what can make you stay back. That is just it. Because it's really crazy when they tell you that if you want to stay back, you have a year to get a job, and then your course is not in high demand, and you wake up every day with fears, even when you don't even have plans of going back home. And I'm trying to imagine the disappointment when, if you don't get a job and you have to go back home and you just have to start making the old plans of what to do all over again, trying to fit into home after a while, trying to just find your place. So if you are planning on staying back in any country you're going to study, please just make sure that the graduate course you're trying to do is in high demand, or you change to a course that is in high demand. And also, if you're planning on going back home after studying, another thing you should also consider is the fact that how is the course you're studying, or the course you're planning to study abroad, how is it applicable to your home country? Because I'm not going to talk down any particular course, but I don't understand why someone will come abroad and study marketing, and then you get to Nigeria, and I'm trying to see how that would be applicable, how you would find your place, how you will have your own niche, except maybe you have the whole plan and structure and everything in place. So if you're planning on coming abroad, or you're already in abroad and you plan on going back to your country after study, you don't have to wait till you get back home to start putting structure and plans in place. This is now for you to connect with people in that field you're going for you to connect with people you're going back to meet in that field, try to follow them, try to know the trends, try to know what is going on, then start plotting your life and your career in all that, in structure. Another thing is just that you have to think of opportunities. That is just it. Nobody came here to abroad to come and sit down. Aside the fact that we came here to learn, to acquire knowledge, you have to look out for opportunities. How viable it is for you to get opportunities in the country where you are going to. I didn't consider that before coming to China. I didn't consider that. My mind was just on the English teaching aspects, which did not really quite work out well. So you have to also look for opportunities. Like, ask people, are there opportunities of, even if I'm not going to stay back, is it possible for me to relocate from this country to a particular country of choice? Is it possible for me to apply for a PhD in this country? Is it possible for me to get a residency in this country? Seriously, nobody told me about the fact that it is highly difficult for foreigners to get a residency in China. Nobody told me that. I got here before I realized, because I felt like, I'm sorry, I felt like every abroad country, you get residency after a while. So if you are really, 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 really in need of a new passport of residency, please do make sure to do your strict background research on the conditions, not even, there are some countries that give residency to foreigners, but then the conditions are really very strict. So be prepared in your mind, have your information at hand on the conditions of getting residency in the country of your choice. In the country of your choice. And another thing to consider is time. The time factor. Like, if you're coming abroad, you know that I'm spending 2 years, I'm spending 3 years, I'm spending 5 years. Like me, I came abroad, I did not even have a time factor. I really did not have a time factor. That is one of the bad things I did. Like, that was one of the wrong things I did. Like, I didn't consider, I didn't have a time factor. So the first year was just going through, doing nothing. And then this is my second year, and I'm beginning to try to figure it all out. But I feel if I have a time factor in place of what I'm expected to do for each time, it would have helped me more in knowing what to do at a particular time. So I feel you should just put everything into consideration. You should put in consideration before coming abroad, your course, is it high demand in your country, in the country of your study, if you want to stay back? How is it relevant to your home country, whether Nigeria, whether Gambia, Zimbabwe, Togo? Can you make money in the country of your choice? How viable it is if your family or whoever is sponsoring your academics falls into hard time and you have to just make up your own tuition and to pay your own money? You have to think of the opportunities. Is it enough for me to come here? What are the opportunities? You have to think of residency. You have to think of residency, because I will boldly make claim that if I had put the same effort and the same amount of money I had used in coming to China into processing other countries like Norway and all that, maybe I would have felt a little bit better. So apart from the other fact that you see people are coming to China, people are going to Turkey, people are going to Canada, there are other countries you can research on. I'm doing that presently, and I'm willing to share with you by the time I have enough information on all the other countries that you people are not looking at, that is actually good to study as foreign students. Seriously. You have to also consider the fact that studying abroad is an investment. You have to consider that studying abroad is an investment, and except you are on scholarship, you should be able to always see ways for you to be able to give back, even to yourself, to your nation, to your family, because it is not easy for you coming here, even if you are the one paying your tuition. I can't imagine myself paying a whole lot of money, like almost ₦1 million by myself. Like, I've been paying almost ₦1 million by myself, and at the end of my stay in China, I have nothing to show for it. Even if I have a certificate, and if my certificate is not relevant in any other country, maybe if I go back to Nigeria or if I relocate to any other country, and if it's not relevant, how do I account for it? So those are the things I felt I did not consider, and I would not want any other person to make that mistake. You people should not just look at me like, oh, Vicky is always posting on Facebook, she's always posting on Instagram, she has a YouTube channel now and all that. It's not easy. Except, I'm always saying, except you are going to any of those countries on a full scholarship, not even partial scholarship, on a full scholarship. Please don't make the mistakes I made. Don't make the mistakes I made, because I'm paying for it, and it's really not a blissful experience. Though we said from the things we suffer, we become strong. I'm trying to find strength in it. Even right now, I'm trying to apply for scholarships, and some of the schools are saying that for me that is already in China, it's not really easy for me to apply for scholarship. I'm just trying to put in all the efforts in just putting in my application, praying for favor. So don't let anybody tell you, oh, when you get here, it is easier for you to change to scholarship, it is easier for you to do this. Don't. make your findings, ask questions. That is why I'm here, to just break the whole thing down, because I felt I did not have enough information. I trusted YouTube. My father trusted YouTube to give us enough information to make the decision of coming to China, and I did not have the information. And that is why I am here to share with you the things you need to consider before coming abroad, not even China, before coming abroad. Because even in the abroad, life is not easy. Don't let anybody tell you life is easy. It is not easy. All the quiet is not easy. Don't let anybody lie. Everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants to look made, so we lie. But here today, I'm not lying at all. So if you have any questions you want to know about China, I hope I get all the answers to the other things, and I'm gonna share with you just pure bliss information, truth and nothing but the truth. And I would be here to just guide you through the processing, because I would also be in the same process with you guys. So I hope you stay strong. I hope you stay happy. If your dream is to study abroad, I'm not asking you to let go of that dream. Keep it alive. You can achieve it. Everything is achievable if you believe. And I love you. But if you're yet to subscribe, please do subscribe, like, share with your friends, share with your family members. Don't let them make the mistake I made. I love you, and thanks for watching. Bye.